Happy birthday, LeBron. I hope number 36 is a good one for you. Cole Sports presents on the daily. Well, VIP, welcome back to the channel. Cole Johnson's live and in living color on the Daily Sun Tap, presented by Cole Sports. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? Do yourself a favor. Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell for every premiere video that comes from this channel. Every Monday through Friday, you will get what is up on all things in the world of sports, so you can be up whether you're at home, at work, at church, or wherever you congregate with a bunch of people. Now, I did say this is Wednesday. I also said that, you already know what I do on Wednesday, and you already heard the topic of discussion or center of attention. And so we're going to go into it right now.
In a world where partial greatness is celebrated and total greatness is shunned, there stands to be a figure on the lips of those who love him and those who hate him. The inane comparisons to Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant continue and has existed since 2003. There is no end in sight, for the battle between those who unconditionally love and unconditionally hate him wages on. These are their stories. Welcome to the Bronsexual Confessions.
And what we're going to do is I'm actually going to challenge myself. So in a conversation I had with a Bronsexual, it basically came down to this. People keep saying to me, you hate LeBron. Well, that really is not true. I don't hate the guy. In fact, I actually like him. And to prove that, this whole show is dedicated to those who think I hate LeBron. Here he is blowing candles to his 36th birthday, and he has had a wonderful month leading up to his birthday. He's been awarded the Sports Illustrated Sportsperson of the Year. I think they named about 8. I think it was like 6 men and 2 women. And this was his 4th, I believe. And I think no other athlete has had 4. And on his week of his birthday, the AP says, well, we're going to award you Sportsman of the Year. Now, he has the Sportsman of the Year. Naomi Osaka has Sportswoman of the Year for 2020. Both of them, they were awarded it because, well, they won big awards and they were huge in the social justice activism realm. Naomi, she won the U.S. Open, and each mask that she wore in the tournament was geared toward the Black Lives Matter movement, or I should say not necessarily the cause, but it was geared toward shining light on those particular individuals. Well, LeBron has done the same. And he's had a voting initiative that he's been pushing all this year, leading up to and even after the election. So it's been a really good year for him in terms of awards, in terms of celebrating, more than winning a finals MVP or a championship. It's almost been as if this has been like a coronation of, this has been pretty much the end of the greatest part of your basketball life. Now you're about to enter into the greatest part of your other life, or life away from the sport, because he's been thinking about this, of course, for the last 2 years. And now he's in a 3rd year with the Lakers, which at the original time he got there, he signed a 4-year contract, but he signed a 2-year extension this past fall. So he's thinking about life away from basketball. Part of the reason why he's in LA is because he's thinking about life away from the arena. But he's also going to have a foot in the arena too. I mean, he does have his boy Rich Paul, who is an agent extraordinaire. So you get the feeling that he's going to have a hand in giving future players and upcoming players tips and pointers and tricks and pointers as to what to do when you are not in the pros and you probably are receiving benefits that, well, might get schools in the NCAA realm trouble. Uh, how you prepare to get to the pros, how you prepare once you are in the pros, and ultimately what you deal with when you are considered one of the elite players or even a superstar player in the NBA. So we could say that, LeBron is thinking about Hollywood. Yes, he is. He already has that with Uninterrupted and a couple of game shows I think he has on major networks. But he also has a foot in athletics too. And I think he's thinking along the lines of similar to what Jay-Z was thinking. He's thinking, it's good to know what you're supposed to do on the court, but the players need protection off the court. And that's actually quite admirable of him to do something like that. So I think with these awards that he's getting from SI and from AP and even what he wins in the NBA, he's thinking about life after basketball. And of course, now at 36, that is exactly what he has to think, because the time forward is a lot shorter than the time behind him. And he's logged a lot of miles since 2003. So kudos to him and congratulations to him. I think he's going to do wonderful things. And I'm going to talk about a good, wonderful thing he is going to do, or he's going to extend in doing later. Now, we saw him on Christmas Day. And yes, it was after the opening game loss to the Clippers. Well, wait a minute. Where have I heard that before? Oh, yeah. That's what they did last year. Opening game, Staples Center, Lakers L. Well, you know how 2020 ended with a championship. 2021, they lost to the Lakers their very first game. Lakers championship. Who knows? What I do know is LeBron is he has, I should say, to think long and hard about pacing himself to just be there in April, in May, and June. That's when the team really needs him. They don't really need him as much now in January and February. Just be there enough so that they could be contenders. And then when you get ready for the stretch run in March and then in April, then we could talk about him playing a little more. But you're dealing with a 36-year-old athlete. But LeBron, who you could say he knows his body, he does. I mean, he invests 7 figures on it a year. It is a saying that Charles Barkley says, and I agree. And as wonderful of a warrior and athlete as LeBron James is, it's true with him. Quote, Father Time is undefeated. Close quote. Now, LeBron found that out 2 years ago in having to recover from nagging injuries all throughout that year in his first year stint with the Lakers. I think he learned his lesson. He paced himself a little bit. And I do have to say that break in between the regular season and the bubble helped him. And he paced himself just a tad in the bubble too. But I think he learned, okay, I can't really go all out like I did when I was 30 or even 25. Now I'm 35, 36. I'm going to have to slow it down somewhat. I may even have to take some games off. I don't mean do like Randy Moss and be on the field and just go through the motions. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about rest, like what Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are doing across the United States. They have to take some games and rest. He's old. He has to do that. And that's not an insult. That's just the lay of the land. But he actually came across another threshold. On Christmas Day this past week, he became the second leading scorer on the day's history in the NBA with the Lakers rout of the Mavericks 138-115. And he looked pretty sharp. In fact, people were bragging about a turnaround fadeaway. And it actually was one of the best moves he's done in the NBA. I have to credit him for that. And he did it. Well, he did it against Luka, and Luka said that he probably wants to be affiliated with a line that LeBron's doing. I'll talk about that at another time. But what to me was impressive about all of this was, I mean, he did his normal line, 22.7 rebounds, 10 assists. What impressed me most about him here was you're getting a glimpse as to what type of player he's going to be now, because I think he wants to have Anthony Davis be the man and LeBron be more of a facilitator. He wants to be the second guy. He doesn't want to lead because he really doesn't have to. And that's not a shot at him. It's not a shot at his leadership. In fact, it's actually a boost to his leadership that he now has a player in his prime that's his, well, most would say Robin, but to me is his Batman, because Davis is just younger and he has more ability to play more games now and more minutes now than LeBron does. That has nothing to do with LeBron's ability, has nothing to do with his athleticism, has everything to do with his age, and has everything to do with his mental ability or his basketball IQ. Because LeBron's basketball IQ is a little higher than Davis's. Just is. So now LeBron could take the IQ. He doesn't have to work nearly as hard. And now he has someone who he can hone and shape into a Batman while he becomes a Robin. Because that's really what he wants to do. And credit to him in having that understanding. And now he gets to celebrate another record. Second place Christmas Day scorer. The most prolific one is The most prolific one is Kobe Bryant. So he passed Oscar Robertson. Now Kobe Bryant is in his sights, and we'll see if he can shave that off next Christmas, which he probably can. James right now has 383 Christmas Day points. Bryant had 395. So it's quite possible next year we will say that LeBron is the most prolific Christmas Day scorer in NBA history. Now, I could rave about what he does on the court easily. What makes me really happy to even talk about him is what he does off of it. Now, we all know that he has the I Promise School in Akron. He also has formed a family foundation, which is called the LeBron James Family Foundation. And the next project has been unveiled. Now, it hasn't really been rolled out physically, but the charitable organization is going to do something more. And so they announced plans to open something called House 33. House 330, owed to the area code, of course. And it's a multi-purpose space that will provide family resources like financial health programming, like job training at retail and dining shops, like community gathering spaces. You already know that LeBron has an eye toward the future with basically awarding whoever comes out of the I Promise program, or I Promise school, I should say, with scholarships going to the area school and University of Akron. Here, he's saying, well, I'm having an eye toward the future here too. And he provided a statement, and the statement reads as such. Quote, "Our main goal in everything we do is to support and prepare our families for a better future. And this concept, House 330, is the next step of that journey. I'm excited to open a space that puts everything we want to offer them under one roof, from getting them a hands-on job training and financial guidance to having a space for important community events and safe physical activities. This is what we've learned our community needs. I can't wait to see this come to life. Close quote. And LeBron, I can't wait to see this come to life either. Congratulations on your next project, sir. And happy birthday once again.
In a world where contradiction and hypocrisy exist, lies the truth to set us all free. Here is where we all get enlightened. This has been yet another installment of the Bronsexual Confessions.
Now, if you want this shirt that I'm wearing, and you see in front of you right now, the description box below has all the details as to how to get it. And you can get it in many styles. Short sleeve shirt, long sleeve shirt. You can get stickers or hoodies. In any way, any style, any fashion, we'll have it. Description box below has it. And what has been one of the biggest moments of LeBron James's career as we celebrate his 36th birthday? Whatever you do, like this video and share throughout your social media. Comment below to that question, because I want to hear what you have to say, VIP. Don't forget, hit that notification bell and subscribe to this channel for any and all content that emanates from here. Well, that does it for today. I am Cole Johnson. Thank you so much for your time and your ears and your eyes, VIP. For all of us here at Cole Sports, this has been yet another installment of Cole Sports on the visual and on the daily.